This is week 4 of the 52 weeks of picks. This week's theme, shadows. Okay, what I have set up here is a small macro setup. It's nothing more than 2 pieces of foam core and a piece of tracing paper draped over the top so it bends in the back, so it kind of looks like a seamless background. And then to the left of our subject, Gingy, is a remote flash, which is going to be triggered by the Yongnuo flash triggers. And the flash power is set to 1/128th power. And I have a little piece of sandpaper taped to the side just to make sure the light doesn't spill onto the background more than I want it to. And off camera, I have a flash set up with a snoot on it, which is set to 1/4 power. And that's going to be targeting Gingy's face. So I'm going to take a couple of shots here, and I'm going to see how it works out. My settings on here are 125th of a second at f11. And we'll flash it off as I'm blocking it. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit closer in here. And I think that looks like the picture. Alright, I'll see you in Photoshop. Okay, now that we're in Photoshop, I'm going to do a little edit here. Before we start, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that these right here are the last 4 shots that I had taken that were in the video. I did take numerous shots throughout the course of the shoot to try and get the lighting correct. As you can see, there's all different looks here that I have. So I was moving the light around and playing with the light, just trying to make sure that I got the shot correct. It's not just a one-shot go, what you see. It did take me quite some time to get the lighting correct. With that said, let's get into the edit of the video here, of the image here. I'm going to double-click on that and open it up in Camera Raw. And the first thing I want to start off with is brightening up these whites that are in here. So I'm going to go over to the highlights, and I'm just going to raise that up. And I'm going to go pretty bright with it. It didn't look like it did too much, so I'm going to go over into the whites and raise that up a bit too. And no, good. Right around there it looks good. And now I want to play with the blacks here and make sure that the shadows are really dark. So I'm going to just take the shadows all the way down. Oh, do that again. There we go. And I'm going to raise the blacks up because I don't want it to be completely lost in this area. I want to see a little difference. Maybe around there. And as you can see, this papery look here from the background. I'm going to lower the clarity just to get rid of that, or get rid of some of it. It's not going to get rid of all of it, but it'll get rid of some. Maybe around there. And I'll give you the preview of what it was and what it is now. And I think that's all the edits I'm going to do here in Camera Raw. So I'm going to open this up as an object. And as you can see, I still have my info palette open here because I like to work with the numbers to see exactly what it is that's going on in the image and get an accurate measurement of different areas of the image, try and balance them out. So I'm going to start off by actually doing that. And I'm going to go to the eyedropper tool. And I'm going to go in an area over here that should be pretty white. I'm looking down over here to make sure that, looking at the numbers to see the colors. They're fairly close to each other. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and just click, and that's going to add a point. And now the other area that's just white over here, which when you look at the numbers right here, they're pretty even, so it's pretty much color balanced over here already. So I'm just going to find an area that's closer to white, say right around here. I'm going to hold Shift and just click there as well. So now we have, here's number 1, which is the top, and then number 2 down here. And there's our numbers. Now we're going to adjust it and try and get these two nice brighter white. I'm going to go to a curves adjustment layer. And I'm going to take the white eyedropper, which is going to say that this right here is supposed to be white. So I'm going to try and click exactly on that point that we made. And you see it brightened the whole image up, and it changed all the channels in there. And I'm just going to make sure the mask is selected. Hit Control or Command I, which inverts it to white. And then I'm just going to grab a brush and paint with white, just to reveal that area over there. That should be white. Okay. And now I'm going to lower the opacity of it to try and balance out the two brightness levels here. Roughly around there. That looks as close to even. Okay, now I'm going to look down at these numbers over here. As you can see, this was the one we know is white, or very close to being white. It's a little more gray than anything, only because of the numbers there. A 255 would be completely white. It's about 196, 197 of all these numbers here. The left numbers are what it is, the right numbers are what it changes to. Okay, so we want to try and make these numbers here the same as these numbers here. So I'm going to open up the curves adjustment layer here, and I'm going to go to the first channel, which is the red channel, and I'm going to grab the point and I'm going to bring it down to about 196, which it says right there is red is the 196. Now it looks a little weird up here, but we're going to go to the next channel, which is the green channel, and grab that point again, and we're going to move it straight down to 197, and go into the blue channel and do the same thing, move that down until that says 197 as well. So if you look here, these numbers match these numbers. And that is with that. That's all there is to it. Now these 2 points are exactly the same brightness levels and the color tone. The next thing I want to do is make the shadow here stand out. So I'm going to raise the brightness levels of the shadow here by creating another curves adjustment layer. And I'm going to get the targeted adjustment tool. I'm going to find a little area over in here, say right there. And I'm just going to raise it up. Right around there. Maybe go a little brighter with it. Yeah, that's about good. I was just using the arrow keys to move the output up and down. And make sure the mask is selected. Hit Control-I to invert it. Or you can just click the little button here that says invert. And then painting with white, just going to go over that area. And maybe a little bit on this side as well. Make the brush a little smaller. And the shadow stands out a little bit more. And just to pump up the contrast a little bit, I'm going to add a brightness contrast adjustment layer. And I'm just going to bump that up. That's a little too much, maybe lower it a little bit more. Yeah, right around there looks pretty good. And I think that's pretty much it. Alright, let's go to full screen here. Tab out, zoom in a bit. And there you go. That's the final image. A nice little shadow. Alright guys, I will see you next week. Bye.